Hello and welcome to another Waggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. So today I'm reviewing this fella, Brewsters Brewery Virago IPA. Got it from adventurebeer.com. It's brewed in Grantham, Lincolnshire, and so it says here, Virago IPA is a supercharged version of our cask beer Decadence. A rich golden ale with a hint of malt sweetness from caramel with passion fruit and grapefruit aromas on the nose. First taste gives a complex, I'll get it in the end, zesty hop palate leading on to a fresh Herbie finish. Nelson Sauvin hops from New Zealand give this beer some of the aroma and flavour characteristics similar to a Sauvignon Blanc wine. Oh, that's interesting. Brewster is the Old English word for a female brewer. Sarah Barton is a modern-day brewster with a master's degree in brewing. I'd love to do that, you know. From the International School of Brewing and Distilling. Sarah set up Brewsters Brewery in 1998. Fair play to her. Well done, lady. In a world dominated by men doing all this, it's great to see women doing their thing. Wow, so that was a really vibrant opening. I ain't shut the bloody can either, so it's gone like the clappers. I'm not sure if it's out of date or not, I don't think it is. So yeah, Brewsters Brewery. And again it says the same, chuffing hands, it says the same thing. I'll just click on their menu, see what they do. So they do, while that goes down, Aromantica, which is a 4.2% best bitter. Aromatic Porter, which is a 4.5%, a porter that's hoppily aromatic. Bergamot Butte at 4.8%, which is an Earl Grey IPA. Bits and Pieces, which is a 4%. Decadence, a 4.4% best bitter. Elder, not wiser. The International Women's Collaboration Brew Day 2109. That can't be right, it's got to be 2019. 4.8%. Never bloody hand. Goatee, an oatmeal milk stout. Hell's Lager. Hoppadoodle-doo, Hophead, India Pale Ale. Just goes on and on. They do a lot of beers. I'm not saying them all because I'll be here all night. So yeah, fair play to the lady for doing what she's done. And you know, it is, if I was to win the lottery, you know, because a lot of it's down to money and that. But you know, when it's something that's interesting, I would love to do, you know, a master's degree in brewing. Oh dear, that would be my, you know, to learn how to do it properly. And, I mean, I'm a home brewer, and I'm obviously do the odd beer review. Yeah, nearly 1,500 now. I think I'll be touching 1,500 soon. I'll have to pick out a decent beer for 1,500. It's got to be something special. So, a hazy golden pour, big white fluffy head, which was quite flowing, as the word is. Bubbly, quite a bubbly pour though. Ooh, definitely got a grapefruit then. And you get the you do get the passion fruit on the aroma as well. And very hoppy as well. Let's get that back on. Here we go. Keep seeing ants, they're making me piss off, wasp. Wait, my beer. Bit of an earthiness to it as well. 5.8%. And you know, for me, I love when the channel gets bigger to be able to go to breweries do brewery tours with the people, promoting their brewery, because I think it's a good thing to promote. I think it's a good thing, especially your local breweries. I'm not going all over the country promoting breweries, but local breweries, chatting to the people, doing it on camera, asking them questions. How did you start? Because we're all interested in how they've done this. What's their inspiration? What's their favourite beers? What would they like to do? What wacky beers would they like to do? Because there's always beers that are totally bonkers that they'd like to do, and you do see some really strange brews now and again, especially at beer festivals. That's where they all come out. I mean, I had like a rum and raisin beer, to make one myself even, and using actual rum and dobbing the raisins in. But it's an element, and it's the thing that if this channel gets to the stage where it's got major subscribers, it's where I'd like to go with it, going round. There was a time on my website when my website, dcmu.co.uk, so was a massive, and I was doing interviews with homebrewers, homebrew coders, not homebrew beer people, but homebrew coders, making emulators and writing games for consoles and stuff. And it was so interesting reading what they wanted to say. Now you take that to today's age, where YouTubing and videoing, and ask the brewer, and but obviously a lot of them won't even look at you until you've got many thousands of subscribers, and I won't blame them either. But it's an interesting area to go to, finding out about these people, what's their, obviously to make money in some ways, because obviously you can't survive without making money. You can't do any job without having to make money. The love of the job is one thing. I mean, like me going to my new job, it's the love of the job. I love gardening, but obviously I've got to make money as well to bring the money back to the wife to pay for the bills. But it's the aspects are fantastic, but learning as well. August 2020 is their best before end, so yeah, it's still in date. It's got some woof to it, I know that. Those passion fruit and grapefruit elements really do come out in the flavour and the taste as well. And the strength, what's the strength? 5.8, yeah, now strength. Ooh, feeling that, I know. I think these wasps like it as well. Oh, the wasp is sucking on the bit that's spilled. Yeah, just stay down there. Drink that bit. Keep away. Not sharing my beer with no one. And again, as companies go, it's great to try and beers out from companies that I'd never heard of. There's obviously thousands of breweries out there that you just don't know about. It's great to, the ones like Marston's and Shepherd and Neem, and a lot of local breweries. But these breweries, this is on my doorstep. Granthams, 30-40 minutes away from my house by car. I won't be too far away when I start working at Newark, about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But yeah, and the funny thing is it's in Lincolnshire, but it's got an NG postcode. The postcodes are hilarious, aren't they? But Adventure Beer, from a man who lives in Sherwood, like a mile away from me, and he drives all over, and it's like I talk about business models, and this is somebody who's obviously a bit of a businessman. He's got another business that obviously has struggled during the pandemic and lockdowns and that, but this business, this Adventure Beer business, has done well because people obviously want the beer, and a lot of people, especially old people, are scared stiff, and they are scared stiff, whilst the younger generation, who know that and they're not really affected overly by it, the student population, 20s up to about 29, know that the chance of them getting it and getting ill by it are so low that they don't give a toss. That's why there's all these chuffing raves, whereas the older population, that have got underlying health issues are scared shitless. So somebody delivering beer to you, as long as you wipe down the bottles because to protect yourself, it's a great thing. And to get breweries from all over Nottinghamshire. I mean, I've got a brewery around the corner from me that I didn't even know about. Little microbrewery doing ciders. They're based around the corner, about 100 metres that way. And yeah, I don't think they actually do the brewing in their garden or whatever, but they may do. But it's amazing, you know, and supporting local businesses is key in this. You know, we've all got, if you are going to buy beers, why not buy beer from a local brewer instead of, you know, a national brewer? I mean, there's one thing, me with doing my beer reviews and that, and doing gardening, going out spending, I've been spending on average £30 to £50 a week on beers. That's quite frightening really, because if I didn't do the gardens at the weekend that I do, a bit of cash in hand, there's no chance on God's green earth that I could afford to do beer reviews. You know, couldn't do it. Couldn't take the money out of the kitty. So, you know, it's one of those. But I do enjoy doing the gardens. I mean, I've now got 3 gardens that I do on a regular basis, and all 3 of them are amazed by, you know, what I've done. The biggest garden is a challenge. You know, it's not easy to keep on top of it. Not for 2 hours a week. You'd need to be on that garden at least 20 hours a week to do a proper job. But you know, we're bringing the garden back to, well, I am bringing the garden back to its glory days, to its better days. And today's where his wife enjoyed the garden, did the garden, was out there all day long, and it's given him happiness for the latter years of his life. He's probably in his 80s now, anyway. So you know, he's probably in the last 20 odd years of his life. Pray that he goes further, because he's a lovely bloke, Scottish, so he's tight, but he's very clever, you know. You think as people get older they're a bit more senile, but this bloke, he's as spot on as you can think. And I tell him stuff, and I think to myself, we'll see if he remembers next week. You know, I'm shit at remembering, and he remembers everything. And he asks me, and all the gardens that I look after, the people, you know, they're like extensions of my family, although one of them is actually an extension. But yeah, you know, and it's kept me going during the troubled months of the last few months. Anyway, better not talk too long, because the wife will be thinking, what the fuck's he doing in the garden? So, a nice gold hazy pour, like I say, passion fruit, grapefruit, both in the aroma and the taste. An earthiness to it, which is quite interesting. Gives off a good element to it. Ooh, that went down very well. So, from Brewsters Brewery with Sarah Barton. Well played to you, lady. You know, a master brewer. Wow. You know, there's so many things in life that you'd love to do, and for this lady to set up a brewery, and you know, I have my total admiration for it. Not just because she's a lady, because women can do what men can do anyway, and not because of that, but you know, in that sort of world dominated by males, it's great to see it. And you know, you're so jealous. I'm jealous. You know, it's something. If I'd have known 30 odd years ago, if you could predict the future and predict future trends, you see, 30 years ago, YouTube wasn't a thing. There there were a lot of things that weren't a thing 30 years ago. The trends are changing. Microbreweries weren't really a thing 30 years ago. It was big breweries only, and then they started to come on. We had real ale shops in Mansfield Road in Nottingham 30 years ago, because I can remember my dad used to go. He used to come back with a plastic barrel of beer, drinking his beer and getting his Shipstons and that, and then it seemed to die down and disappear. And then like breweries like, you know, the likes of Castle Rock Brewery in Nottingham would come out. But nowadays the amount of microbreweries out there is staggering, and it's great to see. There's a lot of people living their best life, making, well, I don't know if they make a lot of money from it, but making enough money to live a nice life is what it's all about. You know, it's not about being as rich as you, but for some people it obviously is. Fuck off. Piss off. Fucking wasp. Go away, you cunt. Oh, they are fucking things, aren't they? It's not about living the richest of lives. It's about living the best life. You know, being happy. Happy in work. We've all got to work, you know, unless you're lucky enough to have a silver spoon, or a gold spoon even. So you've all got to work. And working's good. Good for the mind, you know. And having a great home life. Having enough money to survive. You know. And doing a job that you enjoy. Don't do a job that you absolutely despise. You know. And me now, I'm moving into a new chapter, and I am so excited for what's coming. So excited, and I'm looking forward to a great future, whilst also embracing my hobby, which is beer reviews, and seeing where that goes, and seeing if I can turn that into. I've seen YouTubers turn their hobbies into full-time work, and that would be amazing. Going on a tour around Britain, talking to breweries, master brewers. Oh, it's my ambition, you know, and doing taste tests, going to breweries, highlighting new beers. You know, there's so much that you can do with, you know, homebrew YouTube channels. And YouTube, you know, it's an interesting concept. I mean, I've had a camcorder for years, never really used it. Did a bit of videos of Disney World when I was there, and going around talking on a theme park is very weird for me. Talking to one-to-one with somebody is not so bad, and I can do that. You know, especially if you've had a chat to them and you're friendly and it's okay. And yeah, and I could use my little pod there to talk to them, and trying out beers with them. Wow. You know, and for me it's probably, you know, in coming out, not coming out in that way, but yeah, not that sort of coming out, but in coming out and getting away from the anxiety side, and you know, it would be an interesting concept as well, you know, and doing things that improve your life. Oh, we all need it, don't we? You know, especially after these last, how many months is it now? 4 or 5 months of lockdown and pandemics, and you know, it gives a lot of people time for the realisation that maybe they need to change jobs. Maybe it's not all about earning massive money. Maybe it's about going to that job, your dream job. I'm lucky that in the middle of a pandemic that we've not seen in 100 years, certainly not seen in our lifetime, that I'm moving from a job that disappointed, let me down, to a job that invigorates me, inspires me, and is a dream job, which I will donate 100% of my physical forces, and even when I get home I'll be thinking about it in a positive way. Positivity over negativity. Oh, it's got to be the way, hasn't it? Hey, funny OJ. So anyway, this beer, characteristics found in a Sauvignon Blanc wine. I didn't really get that, but it was nice. And out of 5, for me, 4.4 out of 5. Jolly good beer. For me, I bought it from Adventure Beer Company. I live in Nottingham, but they do ship UK wide, but they do charge £8.99. So there's a factor that you might need to look at. But these fellas, it's actually a lady, the master brewer, and they make some nice stuff. Very interesting. Well worth a look. And that's it for this beer review. Another 20-minute beer review. Jesus. So I've been rattling for 40 minutes. And if the wife's looking out the window, I'm going to get a bollocking. So I better not talk too much longer. Thanks for watching. And as always, see you soon. Stay safe. And thank you all for subscribing and commenting. And I can see a bit of a yellow card coming. See you soon. Cheers.